Hello, everybody. Welcome to Mind Your Own Business. I am your coach, Dr. Erin, your mindset coach for all the things related to training this brain up here to be our best business partner in euphoria and not a dangerous neighborhood to hang out in. So today we're going to talk about something that I love talking about, and it is productivity. And I really want to give a shout out to my self-care productivity coach, Pamela Zimmer. You have taught me so much, and really successful people have coaches and mentors, and she is mine. And I speak with her weekly on how to keep this productivity machine in the lane and how to put bumpers down and how to stay in the groove. And that is the secret to my success. I take productivity really seriously in my life. And I would say the number one question I get asked is, Dr. Erin, how do you get so much done? And I always answer truthfully, which is, I'm so on mission. I am so clear about my mission that it makes me appear insanely productive. So I'm going to teach you the secrets to that and really the science of how do some people seem to get more done than others. We know everyone has the same amount of hours of the time. So how do the Oprah Winfrey's of the world get more done? How do the Mark Zuckerbergs of the world get more done? How does Brendan Burchard, the number one coach in the world, my mentor, how is he the number one content producer in the world, but yet he's known to be a professional wanderer? He wanders the streets in Portland a lot. Like, how does he, get that done? So we are going to talk about what it means to be productive in your euphoria business. So I have dropped a worksheet in the group that you can really take some time, and there's questions on there to ask yourself and really assess. But I want you to write this down. I have a definition of productivity that is probably different than anything you've ever heard, and it's going to blow your mind. You're going to love it. This is it. Productivity is a measure of how well you're leading your dream. Productivity is a measure of how well you're leading your dream. Productivity actually has nothing to do with how many hours worked. I do not care how many hours you're working. I care, are you working on the things that move the needle on what matters most? Are you working on the things that move the needle on what matters most? We were trained yesterday by the number one trainer in network marketing, Rob Sperry, and he said, a comp plan doesn't care how many hours you're putting in. Productivity doesn't care how much hours you're putting in. It's, are you moving the needle on what matters most? And this is what I want you to do. I want you, before you ever say yes to something, I want you to run it by your dream first. Before I say yes to something, I'm going to run it by my dream first. I'm going to consult my dream. So what I want you to do is I want you to write down on your piece of paper what your goal for 2020 is in euphoria. By the end of 2020, by December 31st, 2020, what you want that to be. And I want you to get as specific as possible so your brain knows exactly where you're going. And some of you are new and you're like, I don't even know. I don't know what rank that would be. Put down what you want your income to be. What would get you so excited at the end of 2020? Because we can always just reverse engineer what that means. Okay, so this is what we want to know about productivity. Pamela always tells me this, you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? This idea of we have got to make deposits regularly throughout your day into your energy, to your psyche, your wellness, so that you have a cup to pour from. So when you look at highly productive people, they're not doing what I call the sprint puke method, because anyone can sprint and puke. Okay, we've all done that. It's not fun. We're going to get off that. We are here to be successful in euphoria for 30 years. We are not sprinting and puking. We are in sprint mode right now. Okay, I get that. So what do we do when we're sprinting? We take frequent rests. Pamela is my pit stop. Think of Pamela's pit stop. I'm taking this sports car into the pit stop. I'm going to take my sports car into the pit stop every hour on the hour. And what am I going to do? For 1 to 2 minutes, I'm going to take a break. This is what high performers do. They take a break and they do something to restore their energy. This is not a break. I repeat, this is not a break. Okay? You want to know what a break is? It's drinking water. It's talking to God. It's meditating. It's visiting the river if your office is by the river. It's doing 10 squats. It's stretching. It's opening your arms from texting and being on the computer. It's taking 10 breaths. That's all it is. But we need to replenish the sports car to keep driving, okay? Pamela pit stops every hour on the hour. That's what high performers do. Every hour they take about a 2-minute break. Okay. So what they also do is they pour in at the beginning of the day before they pour out. And so your number one productivity way to like energize yourself and get a deposit is how you spend your first hour of the day. So all the research says it matters. It's like your power hour. And I don't care what order you put things in, but this is what we want to put in. We want to wake up. I would say drink 2 to 3 glasses of water. It gets your cells touching up here so you can think, and it tells your body, here we go, okay? We want to have some spiritual time. We want to connect with ourself, with our higher power. We can meditate if we want to meditate. Again, I don't care how you're doing that, but we need to check in with ourselves. And we want to look at our day ahead. And this is what we want to do. We want to look at our day and we want to say, who's on our schedule today? And then here's what I want you to ask. How can I do this day with excellence? How can I serve others with excellence today? And I want you to run through your appointments and say, how do I want to show up? Who do I want to be? What's that going to require of me? Okay. And then I want you to ask yourself, should I come to a problem in my day? How do I want to handle that? If things don't go my way, how do I want to handle that? It's like you're thinking through what could happen where you couldn't serve with excellence. And I want you to think that through. Okay. So I want you to start your day with a meeting with yourself before you have a meeting with anyone else. It's called being creative versus being reactive. So anything that's taking our distractions like email and texting and social media, that's where we are already in reactive land. So if you look at Brendan Burchard's of the world, they actually don't start reacting till about noon every day. Now, we all don't have that luxury sometimes, but we've got to create before we react. We've got to pour in before we pour out. That's the whole like psychological concept of that, okay? So start your day with a meeting with yourself. And then throughout your day, every time you have a transition, I want you to say these 4 words: release tension, set intention. Release tension, set intention. Throughout your day, every single meeting you have, we might have 16 meetings in a day. We might go from dropping the kids off to getting on the phone to handling a Zoom call to, responding to our team with a question. I want you to just center yourself every single transition. Okay, how do I want to show up? Release tension and set intention. Oprah Winfrey, for 25 years at Harpo Studio, started every single staff meeting with the same question, and it was this: what is your intention for this meeting? Ask yourself, what is my intention for this meeting? How do I want to show up? Okay, so we've got our goal. I'm going really fast because I'm gonna throw all this at you, and then I want to open it up. So we've got this 2020 goal, and I want you to write on your piece of paper 3 buckets. We want to break down 3 major areas or projects that will help us to our goal. So in network marketing, most often one of those buckets is inviting. So it's having conversations and inviting. So one of your buckets, and these are income producing activities, one of your main buckets needs to be, am I talking to humans? So the person who talks the most amount of humans wins. The job description in network marketing is talk to humans about Euphoria and the Euphoria product. That's it. That's the job description. Talk to humans. And while you're talking to humans, you're going to ask them questions and you're going to get to know humans and really see humans. But that's it. If you're not talking to humans, you're not really doing anything productive in your business. That's just the name of the game. If you don't like that job description, it's not a great business to be in because your job is to talk to humans. Okay, so I know you all love humans, so it's great. We're all here. It's going to be wonderful. So one of your buckets needs to be talk to humans. And that is our funnel, like Travis talks about. Our funnel, the first thing is to have a conversation that leads into an invitation, that leads into follow-up, that leads to collecting a decision. I'll say it again. Conversation leads to an invitation, show them the 7-minute video, etc. Leads to follow-up, maybe a 3-way, leads to collecting a decision. The first part is conversations. So one of your buckets should be that. Maybe another bucket is Increase visibility and consistency on social media. That would be a great bucket to have. But that is part of the 3 buckets to lead you to your goal. That's not the whole bucket. Look at the buckets that your brain wants it to be. It wants to be like creating pretty flyers and learning all the things and watching all the trainings. That's not a bucket. We're not creating a bucket for that. That's called learning the skills to do your profession. That doesn't count for your productivity. It matters. But if you're going to med school, guess what? You don't get points for like doing all these other things. You get points for going to the medical school classes and taking your tests, right? Like in your job, you don't get points for thinking about your job. You get points for like doing your job. And so it's a tricky thing with network marketing. The comp plan doesn't care how much you know. The comp plan rewards you for how much you do. Okay, so productivity, the buckets, and we can talk about what 3 buckets it might be. I would say the 3rd bucket should be follow-up. And what I would mean by follow-up would mean, of course, following up with all your prospects, but customer service and following up with all your customers and getting them to their 4 and free. I would think that those would kind of be the 3 main buckets. Maybe increasing your visibility might be one, conversations, talking to humans is another bucket, and follow-up might be another bucket. And then the other stuff like personal development and learning your skill set, yes, we need to be doing a little bit of that every day. So that's really your measure of like, when you say, so the concept of being productive is, I'm so productive because I'm the queen of no. I literally say no to so many things. I was building an empire before Euphoria came in my life a year ago. Guess what? I've had to shift and make different decisions because it's come into my life. So I'm saying no to all sorts of other things that I would have been saying yes to. So are you the queen of no? Are you the king of no? Are you saying yes to the right things? Again, run your yes by your dream first. Okay? So really think about what needs to be on your not to-do list. Maybe even for the next year. Maybe it's not forever, but maybe for the next year, you're not going to veg out on Netflix. Maybe for the next year, you're not going to be the PTA mom that's cutting up cardboard pieces of paper at school. Maybe that comes a year from now when we're out of this massive momentum. There's phases of life to be in. So what do you need? What's your best yes right now? Okay. And the last thing I want to say about productivity is what you probably all know, but a little bit every day goes a long way. A little bit every day goes a long way. And this is the problem in network marketing and in Euphoria. The things that will get you on stage at the top of this company are the most small, seemingly irrelevant decisions and behaviors that are not sexy and they're not glamorous and they're not life-changing. And if you don't do them, they lead to massive results. And if you do them, they lead to massive results. It's the law of the slight edge. So fall in love with doing all the little behaviors that will get you to a super amazing moment or paycheck. No, the law of the slight edge is always working for you or against you. So make it work for you and believe that. And don't believe the lie in your head that it doesn't matter if you don't make 5 calls today. It matters, because guess what? Over 365 days, all of a sudden you're a generator in this company and you're like, how'd they do it? I just talked to more humans. Just talk to more humans. So let's move the needle on what matters most. Productivity is a measure of how well you're leading your dream. I don't want you to be busy. We're going to break up with busy. Busy is a 4-letter word. If anyone says I'm busy, I'm like, oh, you don't know my heart or my life. Like, that's the last thing. Who wanted to like grow up and be busy when they were a little girl or boy? Like, nobody. Okay, so we're breaking up with busy. We're falling in with productive and what moves the needle. So thanks for joining on Mind Your Own Business. Can't wait to see you next time. Can't wait to hear about your productivity hacks and how you're SWAT teaming your day with your hours and all the things. So thanks for joining. Bye, everyone.